You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, I'm not sure that this should surprise anybody. I mean, I don't know if he would have necessarily been plan C, but he certainly would have been plan B, especially with one of these quarterbacks. The other one, I could be talked into having him as plan B as well, possibly, mainly due to his age, because we're talking about two older quarterbacks and one younger quarterback here. But it seems that for the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers was plan C. And this probably also gives you a glimpse into why Aaron Rodgers didn't mind flirting with the Minnesota Vikings. All right. So the Steelers signed Aaron Rodgers after failing on two other QB options. And I would guess in the case of Justin Fields, who is one of these players the Steelers tried to keep, he was probably none too happy about the fact that, number one, he lost his job to Russell Wilson last year, and number two, they did not pivot back to him when I think it became, I thought, pretty evident that maybe they should have last year. All right, because Justin Fields had a sneaky, solid season. I mean, he didn't put up huge passing numbers, but as an all-around dual-threat quarterback, he did some good things last year. And Matthew Stafford, well, it's a no-brainer. Of course, you at least attempt to get him before you get Fields or Rodgers. All right. Aaron Rodgers is officially signed with the Steelers. We know that. Four-time MVP, former Super Bowl champion, is on a one-year deal after ending his free agency. And while Rodgers was the, quote, best available choice, according to Adam Schefter, owner Art Rooney II and Steelers had to go with the hand that they were dealt. Quote, this was the third option for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Schefter said on Friday on NFL Live. They were in on Matthew Stafford and couldn't get a trade done. They tried to re-sign Justin Fields. He opted to go to the New York Jets, where he will meet Rodgers on opening day. And after they couldn't get a trade done for Stafford and couldn't get Fields re-signed, they pivoted to Rodgers. I'm going to tell you what's interesting about that. This tells you that maybe Matthew Stafford, I guess, thought the Rams ultimately were probably the better of the two options between the Rams and the Steelers. Look, the Rams are going to be sneaky really good. All right? And as a Niners fan, I expect my team to bounce back. But the Rams are the team I'm worried about us getting past in that division. It's not the Seahawks. It's not the Cardinals right now. The Rams got a good young defense, and they got real weapons on offense. I mean, let's be real here. Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and as long as they got Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay, they got a chance. They got a chance to win the whole thing. I don't know if anybody noticed. They were the team that almost beat the Eagles in the playoffs. Not anybody else, the Rams. Stafford was at the heart of the speculation with the Steelers in February, but salary demands were too much. Stafford eventually turned down a $100 million offers from the Giants and Raiders to remain with the Rams, pushing the Steelers to try to keep Fields. For L.A., keeping Stafford in tow was a no-brainer. Quote, we'll have a chance with him every time he's at the switch, and I love him. I love working with him. McVay told Mad Dog Sports Radio. And I think he can play as long as he wants, but fortunately, I'm hoping it's a couple of more years. I think he came out of this season feeling good physically. Fields signed a 2-year, $40 million deal in New York, and the Steelers lost their potential starter for 2025. Fields went 4-2 as the Pittsburgh starter. The Steelers averaged 20.7 points per game over the first 6 weeks of the 2024 season, before Mike Tomlin opted to give his starting quarterback job to Russell Wilson after he recovered from a preseason injury. Rodgers spent the last 2 years with the Jets with subpar results before coming to terms with the Steelers. So I guess it's really, how do you feel about it? I mean, guys, we're always going to look. This is a PFF. This is their 2024 quarterback grades. And they've got, as we just look down through here, they've got Aaron Rodgers graded out as the 18th best quarterback. Matthew Stafford, the 21st best quarterback. Justin Fields, the 27th best quarterback in the National Football League. And they got Russell Wilson way up at 15. Okay. That's the only, look, I like PFF. I've got a subscription to it. I keep it. It's a valuable tool, but there are times that PFF will leave you absolutely shaking your head going, what the bleep? All right? What the bleep? Because there's not a world where I don't feel like Matthew Stafford didn't have the better year than Aaron Rodgers. That just did not happen, in my opinion. Matthew Stafford had a better year than Aaron Rodgers did, as my dog barked at absolutely nothing. I'm not making a cut in it. I mean, it ain't that big a deal. But nonetheless, I guess my dog's a bigger Aaron Rodgers fan than I am, I guess, and I like Aaron Rodgers. I understand the pursuit to keep Justin Fields because of the age. I do get that, all right? Now, that makes me feel like if they'd have brought him back, they would have to have signed somebody else behind Justin Fields like they did last year. But again, one could argue that he should have started the entire year. Justin Fields had a pretty good year last year. He cut down on the turnovers, and he continued to run the ball. In fact, let me just pull up Justin Fields stats right here, and we'll just all look real fast. 4-2, 65% completion, almost 66. So he got that completion percentage up. It went up 5%. That's the kind of progress you're looking for. It went up 5% from when he was with the Bears. 1,100 yards, 5-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Had 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. However, that doesn't tell the whole story because he's a dual threat quarterback. He had 289 rushing yards and another 5 touchdowns. So that was the whole point I was trying to get to. All right? Not just the passing yards, but he averaged another 55 yards essentially on the ground. So he had 10 touchdowns and 1 interception for the Steelers last year. That's pretty good, to be honest with you. All right? I understand. Not a lot of passing touchdowns, but I don't give a damn how you're getting in the end zone as long as you get there and you take care of the ball. You know, that's the big thing. So, and again, let me just go back and look. I'm not going to bring it back up, but he's only 26 years old. So that's why the Steelers would have looked to have brought him back. He's probably thinking, look, the Jets have flat told me I'm the starter, and he is the starter with the Jets. So, and they gave him probably a second year, whereas I'm guessing the Steelers only offered him 1 year. It's a 2-year, $40 million deal with the Jets. Now, I haven't looked at the guaranteed money, and I guess I should have, but nonetheless, it probably is a 1-year deal with some ways to make it a 2-year deal, in other words. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.